So just recently, I think it was today, 63 Impala put up a video in which he spoke about how the necessity is the moderator of invention. And he fashioned up his heavy duty, kind of a little bit of overkill involved there, but I suppose it's good enough is good enough. He fashioned up an IP glass holder, which is pretty cool. I have a problem that needs to be addressed in a similar fashion, but not exactly the same. Our local dump accepts recycled products. They used to accept all kinds of plastic products. They had a little section over, you just divided them into whatever the code was on the bottom, you was good to go. Well, now they're only saying they're going to take certain plastic products, which are number 2, and they ain't much. It is actually a number 2. So we're throwing away all kinds of bottles and things that aren't recyclable. And at our dump, if you can't put them in one of those recycling slots, then you got to pay $2 or so a bag to put them in a bag. And if you're putting a bottle in a bag, that means that 99% of that is air. The bottle itself ain't very big. If you could squish the bottle down flat, you could eliminate a lot of that. So I began to think of McCade upon what would make a good compactor of trash. And I went online and looked at a lot of things, and then I started thinking, I thought, well, I've got some hydraulic doohickeys and I can use that, and I've got some air pressurized doohickeys and I could use that, and I could hook an electric motor to it, whatchamacallit, or I could fix this big belt drive, handle driven thing and squish it. But that's a lot of overkill. I was also thinking the same thing, like I got a big steel thing, you could crash the crap out of something in, but I mean, that's a big steel thing you got to think of and keep up with. And the easiest way to compactimate trash is to do it right in the trash can with your bag, because you're still going to have to throw it away. You're just making it smaller. So here's what I come up with. And so far, I hadn't finished. I'm not like 63 Impala. He knows what he's going to make before he makes it, and I'm kind of the opposite. I never know how it's going to work out. I just start, and then we see where we go. But what I do have is a metal garbage can right here, a metal garbage can, and I have this old 53 Cadillac hydromatic flywheel. I think that's a hydromatic. It could be a hydromatic or it could be a Dynaflow flywheel. I think it's a hydromatic flywheel. Well, I don't know. I think this is actually my Dynaflow flywheel. So I think my hydromatic flywheel is out in the other barn. But it may be just as well, because this one's probably heavier. And I thought of a bunch of things, but it occurs to me that this here flywheel, which even though it's off an automatic, it's heavy. It's heavier than a lot of straight shift flywheels. But that would fit right down in there. It wouldn't tear the bag, and I could squish down all the stuff in there and then pull it out and refashion the bag, as we go. So I'm thinking all I need is a handle, because I thought about a big lift bar. A big lift bar you mount on the side of the wall, you squish it down, you swing on it, all that. But I mean, I don't need all that. All the need here really is just a little handle attachmacated to that. You can just pick it up and go blump, blump, blump. You've not seen my hand motion. Blump, blump, blump. If I picked that up and I went blump, 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 and then I could set it down next to the can, and we could put more garbage in there. So, the next question is, by the way, I don't think I want to ruin that flywheel by welding something to it, so I probably want to bolt something to that so that I could unbolt it should I decide to. So the next question is, what would I use for a handle? And I got a lot of options. I got a lot of steel parts and pieces and pipes and such as that. Sitting around, for example. This is probably shorter than I would want to use, but just for illumination purposes, if I attached a macaded something about like that to it, then I could pick that up and squish it down in there and bring it back. And yeah, something like that would do. Maybe put the pretty end down. So I think what I'm going to do is come up with a way to attach something to this, and then attach something to that, and I might even put a little fancy dancy T-crossbar handle on top of that, and then I'll attach all them things together, and we'll bring it over here and we'll go whoop, whoop, whoop on the garbage. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I think I'm the this could, with all the sound quality that goes into modern music nowadays, this could actually be a new pop hit song. Because if you listen to modern music nowadays, you see them little cars go down the road that has big fins on the back and muffler. They look about the size of a garbage can. They're all swooped down low. Got goofy looking wheels on them. And they go by, they're going, whoop, 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 whoop. You can hear it. You can be in the house and when you go down the road, you hear it. Whoop, 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 whoop. So I could be, by inventing a tool that goes whoop, 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 I could also be creating a new form of music. Just think about that. And I'll get to work on that.